Hey everybody, welcome back to the farm. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Got an opportunity to visit with family and friends. This week's video is going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing stuff with the horses, I am going to, hey, little Miss Jealous here. She doesn't like me rubbing on the boys. She'll typically turn her butt around and ram it into me, so we'll see if that happens. But here we go. Look at her butt. Move your butt. Move your butt. Move that butt. Move that butt. She's so jealous. Your butt is too big for me to move. She doesn't like me rubbing on the boys, and she is going to turn that butt around. If she had a backup alarm, you would hear it, but she will typically back and hit me square in the back with it. And she's going to do everything she can to keep them boys from getting to me. And Jean's going to follow her lead, or Grace is going to follow her lead. So now I've got Jean and Grace over there, and they won't be jealous of me being in here with these boys, so I can talk to you. But this week's video is about the ZUMI gate opener. And I got this from ZUMI, and I appreciate them sending it out to me. I appreciate Rachel over there. But what I got is the ZUMI WS1 solar powered gate opener. And when it came to me, it came in a very nice heavy duty package box, styrofoam cutout. Everything was wrapped in plastic. Very professional quality, and I was very pleased with the product when it arrived. It came with the gate opener and all of the hardware. The solar panel. The control box with 2 batteries. Two controllers for your vehicles. And then I opted for some options. One of those was a remote keypad for when guests come from outside and they don't have a remote.
CMP's looking for me.
If you don't have the optional keypad, they have an app that you can download on your phone, and you can open the gate from anywhere you are. So if somebody's outside your property, they don't have a key control to get in, then they can just call you and say, or they can text you and say, hey, I'm at your gate, and you can open it remotely. But I've got the option to do it with the keypad or with the phone. So if you don't have this, it's not the end of the world. You can still let people on your farm if you're not here. An exit wand. And a lock, so the gate will lock upon closing. And a look at Max. Max is just really turning into a big old puppy dog. He's very tolerable of anything you want to do to him. But let's go up here and look at the gate closer installed and operating. Here's the brains of the operation. So this is a 30 amp solar panel And then this is the control box. There's 2 batteries in here. It's a weather-tight box. It's got a rubber gasket all the way around it, so you can mount it in any orientation you want. I opted to mount it up and down. And the reason that I did that is because the control panel is down here, the batteries are up here on top of each other, and the digital readout reads this way. So if it was sideways, it wouldn't have read correctly, so I wanted it this way. And then the ZUMI control arm. Now this WS1, it will operate a 20-foot long gate up to 900 pounds. And my gate is only 12 feet. They have a WS1 Pro that will operate a 20-foot gate that weighs 1,100 pounds. The one is a single gate operation. You can go on their website and look, and they've got WS2 and WS2 Pro, and those are double gate openers. They include all the hardware to mount this, but they don't include the hardware to mount it on the fence. It's more for concrete or brickwork. So they include anchors, concrete anchors, which I'm really surprised they do, because concrete anchors are a lot more than wood screws. So I had to go and buy wood screws. I could have probably put, anchors in here, but, wood screws, lag bolts are going to hold a lot better. And then I also installed lag bolts, on the fence. This is made to mount on a flat surface. And then it comes with about 12 feet of wire, but what I did is I cut the excess wire because I wanted a clean installation. I didn't want a big loop of wire right here. So I just made a real clean installation and cut off the excess wire. And then I left myself just enough so it wasn't going to get snagged up. It comes with the bracket to mount this, which is the bracket right here. It comes with anchors, but what I did is I bought U-bolts to install it right here. Now these U-bolts right here are actually muffler clamps. It tells you in the owner's manual to buy muffler clamps because there's a flange on it. And I didn't buy these originally. I already had U-bolts. And so I said, well, I'm just gonna use the U-bolts that I've got. The U-bolts that I put on here, they had a metal plate that went from the top of the U-bolt to the bottom of the U-bolt, but what it did is it bent and it kind of tried to wrap itself around here, and I could never get it tight enough. So this bracket, it just constantly slid on here and I could never get it tight. And then the lock mechanism is down here. The wire comes up and I just zip tied the wire all the way down. And ran it into the control box. The control box comes with these fasteners here so that you can fasten everything in nice and tight. And then the exit wand comes down, and then I put it in a piece of conduit so that the weed eater or whatnot doesn't get tangled up and cut the wire. And then it runs all the way up and it's buried in the ground up here. And that has a 12-foot radius, and it'll pick up your car when you get into the radius. When the gate is open, they want the exit wand to be 25 to 45 feet from the edge of the gate. And I've got it set at 25 feet. And I've got that rain gauge right there as my guide. So that when you get to the rain gauge, you're 25 feet from the gate. This is the control panel here. It's a touch screen backlit and it's got a sunscreen around it. But when you touch it, see, it's backlit blue. which is super nice. And that's with the remote. Gate unlocks. Gate relocks. It slows down when it gets towards the end. You can set that. I've got it set to where it slows down. It's at 20 seconds is what it is. And then it goes to fully open. It stays open for 45 seconds and then it closes automatically. And now it's what's called high speed mode. And right before it gets to the end, it'll go back into low speed mode so that it doesn't slam closed. I don't know if you heard the motor there, but it slowed down. And now it's locked. Now this solar panel is 30 amp solar panel, and you can set the settings on it from 0 degrees to 60 degrees to pitch it. I currently have it set at 30 degrees. And I tested this when I was hooking it up to here. I tested it with the multimeter to see what my best reading was going to be. And it was producing 45.2 volts of charging power to the batteries at 30 degrees. And at 45 degrees, it was producing 45.1 volts. So almost the same. So the sun is a little bit lower on the horizon during the winter. So I've got it a little bit more flat. But in the summer, when the sun is more overhead, I'll change this to 45 degrees and get more of a pitch on it. When I had this set to 0, and it was actually kicked over almost forward facing the ground, I was still getting over 15 volts of charging power. You can see here the settings for your different degrees of sunlight. My farm is orientated northeast, south, and west, so this is facing to the south. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, so it goes in front of the solar panel the whole day. One thing that I did that wasn't included is I mounted a light on my box, and it's a little LED light. But when they're coming down the driveway and they hit the exit wand, they're looking for the rain gauge over there as their guide. When the gate starts opening, they may not realize the gate's opening, and they may or may not have enough common sense to stop their car or say, is that gate gonna hit me? I think that gate's gonna hit me. Well, that gate it's hitting my car, it's hitting my car. Instead of stopping or putting it in reverse and backing up. You got 25 feet from the nose of your car to the front, to the edge of the gate, but still I added a safety light that wasn't included, but it was just a light, and all I did was wire it to the power, same power that the solar panels wired in. It's just 2 wires and they just went right in. But now the whole time that the gate is operational, this is flashing. Let me show you. Somebody got a new gun for Christmas because they are shooting it up. The last thing I need to show you is the exit wand and how the gate opens automatically when it picks up your vehicle. But I'm going to include all of ZUMI's information right here. And I'm also going to include it in the links below. And then if you use my special discount code, you'll get an additional discount off. All right, coming down the driveway, coming up to the exit wand, coming up on the John Deere rain meter. And there's the gate opening. I've got the light blinking at me. Gate's opening. we go. Now there's not a delay on the exit one, so the gate closes pretty much immediately after you pull out. Oh my goodness, you guys. Can't have anything nice around here with you guys untied. You guys want to knock everything over. Move your butt so people can see. Knocking all the buckets over. Move out of the way. Move. Knocking all the buckets over, everything out of the way. Just mischievous little turkeys you guys are. Let's get the babies out. You ready, buddy? Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job, buddy. Yeah, good job. Good job. Good job, buddy. Yeah, good job. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now here comes Gene. The stall's open. Let me go in there and see what they dropped on the floor. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope everybody has a happy and prosperous new year. And we'll see you next week. As always, remember who you are, be kind to those around you, and stand up for what you believe in.